astrology reading is Jupiter. Jupiter's retrograde. Jupiter is in retrograde. Jupiter's retrograde. It's giving Winnie the Pooh, you feel me? But all right, you all, this video, if you all would love to send a love offering, if you all would love to send a donation, the link is in my bio. It is to my Cash App, and it is also to my Amazon wish list. Okay, excellent. I appreciate you all. If y'all would love to come on over to YouTube, y'all, we lit over on YouTube, but you know they shadow ban me, so oh well. Anyways, this message, we're going to look at the ascendant, and we always look at the ascendant because right answers only. Okay, give yourself a round of applause. I appreciate you all for guessing. So we look at the ascendant because these are the observations. These are the lenses that we're looking through. This is the lenses we're looking through this area, this chapter, this story, okay? So to have this awareness, to be in this perspective, we might even experience some of these Cancer thing. I almost said Gemini, okay? We might experience these Cancer things, but also this lens is looking at through the lens of feeling. It's also momentum, realizing the need for rest, slow momentum, steady momentum. But we're getting too deep into it, okay? All right, y'all. All right, y'all. All right, you all. So the ascendant here is Cancer 23 degree. And immediately in my head, I said, oh, this is a very fixed nature. This is giving Aquarius, Leo. Fixed. Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus. Stand up. This chapter, those are the relevant signs. Yes, we'll be looking at all the signs. Yes, but this is it's a lot of fixed nature in here, and it's a whole lot of mutableness that we need to step into. And I'm not even going to be the liar here. Like, Pluto here is really stepping up. Like, Pluto is giving us the awareness from the outside world into bringing it back. That's what it's doing here for us, and I appreciate it. So shout out to Pluto, okay? Whole time, I would feel some type of way if I was a planet and motherfuckers was like, oh my God, you're not a fucking planet anymore. They're like, oh yeah, that's a planet. You feel me? I would feel some type of way. But the ascendant 23, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, stand up. Aquarius, oh my goodness, Cancer 23 makes me think of needing to be fulfilled, connected, emotionally understood, validated, seen. It's really even understood by the group. Why? I want us to think about it from that perspective. Why? Okay. Second with this, we can also look at it as nurturing our continuous growths and developments. What does that mean? Nurturing the long haul to our long-term growths, okay? That really means we need to start making sure that our short-term goals are adding up, are making sense, are adding to like the sense of our whole term, our big term goal. Make sure, you feel me, them little bitty steps is in cahoots, in recognition, and integration with the story of our long-term goals, because if not, we wasting time, we wasting energy, like it's pointless, okay? I need us to really see the fact of the matter is how, okay, well, also, let's keep going about this Cancer 23. I want to talk about one more perspective, okay? Let's do 3 for 3. Cancer 23, it also gives me the sense of needing, well, let's do 4, because we're going to talk about family with this one as well. Needing to understand cosmic laws, cosmic understandings, cosmic conversations. It's needing to understand that. And here it's given a whole lot of phenomena like omens in the environment, omens in the community, omens through nature. It's giving 100% that, like 1000%. So for this being on the ascendant, Pluto opposition, the ascendant is giving, questioning those thoughts. It's giving critical thinking if we 100%. So that's, shout out to Pluto. But we're getting too deep. We're getting too deep, yeah. So the fourth one that we was going to talk about Cancer 23 is that we need to see, it's like a family growth. Oh, Oh, fuck. Give me 1 second because when I saw it in my head, I said there was a disconnect in family, disconnect with family. It's like emotional disconnect with family. And I said, oh, this is deep. I said, let's get to the root of this. But this is something that we should slowly and steady, because Jupiter here, Jupiter retrograde, is going to allow us to step into all four of those segments. You feel me? So I'm not really gonna try to dig deep into that. Okay. All right. Perfect. But we need to be aware of these instances so we can feel it. Remember, this approach is strictly through the feeling, strictly through the understandings, okay? Through the feeling process, we need to learn to the next step of understanding these feelings, okay? This can mean, going out and allowing practitioners and people to assist you with the feeling of the steps, or maybe the connecting of steps to better understand, okay? Yeah. 100%. 100%. 100%. It's kind of giving nursing home as well. And I want to secretly talk about this. Vested in the 12th house. Yeah, of course. It's hella giving nursing home. Um, that is really deep. This Jupiter retrograde, it touches on a lot of subjects. Like, it talks about mental health. Yes. It talks about the need to understand oneself. Yes. It talks about natural phenomena. Yes. It talks about the need to control mental desires and being temperamental. We're going to break that word down, okay, in the writable post. But this retrograde, because of Pluto is so in flow opposition type of shit. It's really an opposition because Pluto is opposition the ascendant. It's making us really, I don't want to say psychoanalyze ourselves, but it's more so making us look deeper. You feel me? Sometimes we look at the iceberg, it's like, oh, this is such a beautiful little bitty iceberg. And then we forget that there's a whole other layer. So this is really getting the depth. What the fuck? Getting the depth, getting the deeper understanding about ourselves through the previous experience, through our relationships, through our connections, through our the things that we connect to and sign off. So this is a very good time to think about and to review all the things that we're connected to, all the things that we are interconnected to, all the systems, all the habits that we have gave and engaged and implemented within our lives based on other people, other situations, our constant changing awareness and values because of the development of self. You feel me? This really goes deep. This really allows us to see the literal, oh my fucking god, the literal many hats that we wear, the many hats that not just we wear, but also looking at it from an ancestral perspective, a genetic perspective, I really like this. It's really self-growth, self-character defining development, okay? Because Jupiter, I think it takes 12 signs to go through, 12 years to go through all 12 signs. So with this, Jupiter was in Taurus. Now we're getting a little bit too deep, but we might as well just hop into Jupiter retrograde right now because we were just talking about the ascendant, okay? So Jupiter retrograde is currently in the 11th house in Taurus, okay? 12 years ago, Jupiter was in Taurus, okay? So with that, we need to look at that story 12 years ago, but also 6 years ago, Jupiter was in Scorpio. So with that, we also need to look back at that story as well to see the understandings, the growth, and the changes of ourselves from there on. So girl, let me bring up this. I ain't got my calculator. So 2023 minus 12. Wrong. 2023 minus 6. Minus 12, 11. 2 minus 1. Okay. Okay, 2011. My back is itching. 4. Gotta carry the 1. 13 minus 4. What's that like? I might even guess. 9, 100%. Bring the 1 down. Okay, what happened in 2011? What happened in 2019? So let's look at ourselves right now. How old are we right now? Perfect. How old were we in 2011? How old were we in 2019? 2011, 2019 is an 8-year difference. Say for instance in 2011 you were graduating elementary school. 2019 you should be what, graduating college. Those are so many changes, life changes, body changes, mood changes, likes and dislike changes that have happened between that 8-year period right there. You feel me? So with this, who are we right now? How have we grown and developed? Look where we are. Look at our accomplishments. Okay. Perfect. Those are some really good signs for us. Excuse me. To know. I didn't mean to hit you. And I just keep hitting. Okay, y'all. My little alligator out here is just, it keeps getting hit. So we gotta be aware of the alligator, okay? Gotta be aware of the traps that are set for us. Gotta be aware of them so we can sidestep them. That really means being in flow with the universal flows, okay? So let's get now really deep into this chart, okay? So we previously talked about all the fixed nature standing up, okay? So with this fixed nature here, we can kind of be like, okay, no, this is what we're used to. This is what we know. It could be an unchanging behavior, but it can also make us content and stuck in our ways, right? And here we need to realize that the foundations that we have built, that literally means we need to fucking look at our house. This is a really good time to look at our whole structures, okay? It might be little, what's it called? Like, this is a really good time to look at if it's tuck pointed, Mercury. Yeah, looking for tuck pointed, because here is giving holes within structures. Like, it's not leaks within structures, but it's like, it's not, I don't know what the word is, because that's not my area where I work at. This is my area where I work at. Okay. But when your house structure needs to be relooked at, we can talk about roofing, we can talk about stairs. It's hella giving stairs, the walkway of stairs, just walls in general. Check the walls like 100%, especially at the bottom. The joints of the house, we need to have that looked as well. If you have a back porch, that looked as well. Look at the stairs, okay? I don't even know how we got into that. Like, we're trying to get deep into this. So, we already talked about this. Cancer is feeling, okay, yes, that fixed nature. Ooh, we gotta eat it. So here, that's fixed. Let's look at Jupiter. Jupiter's in Taurus. Who rules Taurus? The sign that rules, the planet that rules Taurus is Venus. Venus is in our 2nd house, okay? So let's talk about this. So I've already highlighted a few things. I've highlighted the ascendant, which is right here, blue. I circled the Venus retrograde so we can be aware of this, because Venus retrograde is ended. It already ended a day before Jupiter's retrograde, which means it kind of gave us the story, kind of gave us the hint, kind of gave us like the reviews, things that we need to be aware of. But also, people be loving at Venus. They be like, oh my God, yeah, she's the love and fertility. Okay, so let's think deeper. Okay, so let's put it on an astrology, but we're not gonna get deep. Okay, with this, Venus would be considered what? Taurus and Libra. So the awareness of other people and emotional connection, Taurus. So with this, we need to have a sense of groundedness in our understandings to be able to move, to relate, to understand, to integrate. But also we need to have a very good understanding of ourselves to be able to understand what our own personal needs are, understand where we came from, understand who we are internally, understand our own internal approaches to our life, so we can build out and bridge out, right? Connect to the right things that allow us to feel fulfilled, satisfied, understood, right? Perfect. So, Taurus, oh my goodness, Venus is in Leo in the 2nd house. Venus currently is in 12th degree. Why is any of this information useful? Because to even understand Jupiter's like movement and dance in Taurus, we need to understand how not the chart ruler, the chart ruler is Cancer, which means the chart ruler is the moon, which is our feelings. Needing to know the house ruler that the retrograde in allows us to better understand how things are going to be moving and how things are going to be really impacting us, right? So Venus, we need to, I want to tell us we need to be very mindful of our sweet intake, okay? How much we eat. The moon is already All right, cool. So we did all that. Perfect. With this, Venus is in 12th house, so we know we need to have a sense of what, not escapism, no, but we're talking about a sense of playfulness, a sense of imagination, a sense of understanding the continuous adaptability of surviving. Okay, but with this, it also allows us to know highs and lows, emotional highs and lows of our own ability to stand up, to fall, to get back up again. So it's teaching us the internal system of nurturing ourselves. Okay, so this is a huge sense of nurturing that we need to be aware of, but we need to honor, because through that battle of getting up, there's constant talk within our head that tells us, all these concepts that sometimes we believe, right? Sometimes we take in, sometimes that can really impact how we move, what we move in, if we have the energy to move, okay? So for us to be mindful about this is allowing us to have the step up, you feel me? So we can move correctly and in flow with how Jupiter is gonna take us through the mud. So you feel me? It's kind of giving people be like, all right, just trail me, and then drive fast as fuck, like. Okay, so I want us to be aware. I want us to be skilled warriors. You feel me? Spades. People be like, oh my God, it's a spade message. If you don't eat that fig, if you don't take the strength, spade literally puts us in the mud and shows us what we're capable of, because we already went through those experiences. Why not use those experiences to our benefit in the battle? The battle is life. It's overcoming. It's standing up. It's nurturing ourselves in every facet. Okay. And then also having people who nurture us and understand us and be able to connect with us so we continue growing and blossoming, okay? It's making the right decisions, okay? Okay. Alrighty, so this is what I wanted to talk about, okay? So I need us to be very mindful as soon as we walk out the house. We need to be thinking critically as soon as we walk out the house. I need us to think about our decisions. What impacts what? If I do this right here, what's the domino effect? You feel me? You like, girl, what's the domino effect? What you mean? All right, so if I get I want to show y'all what I got up here because it's kind of crazy. All right, so if I got a couple things lined up, you feel me? And a domino effect would means if I drop this would knock this, then this would knock this, which means it is a systematic, I don't want to say approach, but it's a systematic flow that impacts everything else, okay? So with this, we need to be very mindful of what we move, how we engage, how we react, who we react with, who we engage with, how we respond, how we temper our mental. How we express ourselves, how we define ourselves, all of that is impacting something else. And right now is a moment to realize what impacts everything else. So it's given the movie Robots. All right, y'all. Y'all know that is my favorite movie to talk about Moon Neptune. So it might be a Moon Neptune here, y'all. It might be a Moon Neptune here. But I was just about to say, if it's a Moon Uranus, it's giving Moon Neptune here already. But Moon Uranus slipply giving Moon, Uranus, Neptune, and Mars. And I'd be like, is this a skilled warrior or is this a skilled warrior? And low-key it'd be irritating the moon sometimes. So be very mindful about pessimistic thinking, okay? We need to very much celebrate our accomplishments, celebrate our growths. And I'm talking about like monthly. Yes, that is a really good thing, but try to do it weekly. Try to really engage yourself. Try to really see what you need and what you don't need. Try to really think about meal prepping weekly. And I mean, like, you don't gotta go grocery shopping weekly, you feel me? Do it that way. Don't overextend yourself, because I promise you, like, it'd be a really good time to be progressive. But what if the progressiveness that we need right now is through reflection, is through setting a skilled habit and a skilled time frame that we can control, you feel me? Because it's really going to teach us about control and constraint. Control and constraint. It's really going to teach us that, okay? Constraint of the emotions, constraint of the desires. I promise you, sexual energy is going to be up and rising. And what are you going to do with that creativity, okay? Because we can be out here humping, okay? But let's talk about that part. Okay. Let's talk about that part because what's this, part of fortune? No, this is not part of fortune. Whew, y'all, it is like a whole lot of conversation going on. Be very mindful of like the conversation people bring to you. It's right in your ear. Like, just take it in. Like, don't show a face. Just take it in. Like, bland. Okay. Okay, but we're not gonna talk about psyche. Yeah, we need to really think about the people we engage with for real, because some people's values really do not be our values, and people can be having mass. You feel me? All right. Okay. Also, we need to really. I don't want to say think people out, but we need to really think people out before we engage with them, before we want to talk to them. You feel me? Because here, Scorpio, you feel me? Scorpio's already in that seventh house, you feel me? In his retrograde. Pluto's already in that seventh house in his retrograde, and it's telling us we need to critically think about the things because they can physically impact us, okay? Okay, so we can be like ha ha he and pick up somebody else's values that really can limit us, right? Okay, just wanted to make sure. All right, so let's go back to Venus. Okay, so Venus here is conjunct like everybody, like goddamn everybody. Okay, so it's, I know I'm supposed to only do 8 degrees, but I be pushing that orb, that conjunct orbit. So 8 degrees will be 20, but it's like 14 degrees. Venus is 14 degrees away from Black Moon Lilith. And I love that. Okay, that's that getting there. That's why we need to really realize who we are, understand who we are. This why if we eat the chart this way, it really allows us to be aware of our own inner self, because here is a whole lot of shame here, like a whole lot of self-shame, a whole lot of like rejection of self, rejection of one's own values, rejection of like, I don't know, it's kind of giving a, where's Libra at? Because I feel like we beat up the Libra Aries aspect. You feel me? It be making, it just makes sense. Yeah, there we go. Mars and Libra. It's, I don't know how to say it, but it's like a childhood wound we need to be aware of. And it's just because we weren't validated in who we were internally. So now we need to validate ourselves as the adult to heal that inner wound. Then it's like we start healing our inner child, then it allows us to heal our inner teen. And our inner teen has a lot of rage. And with this rage, we can better understand it and use it. Creativity, like, working out, doing internal breathing methods, maybe doing flexibility in like slowed movements. Okay, so we can do a lot of cardio here, yes, but it's saying a lot of slowed movements, a lot of slowed stretches. It could be Tai Chi. It's just constraint internally. And with that, I need us to be very mindful of that, because I don't want us to just hold anger inside of us. I don't want us to hold anger or emotions inside of us. We need to learn a release process that is slow and steady. So maybe archery is up here. Maybe I don't know, any slow movement, stretching, walking, weighted walking, something of that sense. Okay, maybe hiking, elevated walking, but it needs to be very mindful of constrained breathing, maybe hula hooping, something that you need to, okay. All right. Maybe jogging, because jogging not really a fast run, okay? So we up there. Okay. Perfect. So with that, we can then talk about after Venus is 14 degrees away from Black Moon Lilith, it's then Black Moon Lilith is conjunct Pan, conjunct DNA, conjunct Cheshire Cat. So that's why I need us to be very mindful of this, so we can see really what's really going on, our own internal desires, our own emotional needs, because we can be connecting to some people who really don't have the best interests in us, and it can impact our sleep, okay? And I want us to have the best deep sleep as possible, okay? I also need us to be very mindful about our dreams. Yeah. I need us to stretch before bed, to stretch, especially our ankles. Yeah. What is this? Oh yeah, most definitely. Hmm. Oh yeah, this eats, y'all. All right, so from that, yeah, dreams are gonna be very much active, active. They're not gonna. I feel like they're not gonna make sense, but they're gonna make sense if you write them down. Okay, it's like it's a story that's being told, but it's being told metaphorically. It's being told like in different scenes. So we need to be mindful and be aware of this, so we can pick up the conversations and to be aware and to write it down. All right, yeah, 27. That is the yeah. Write that down. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Values. Right. Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Cheshire Cat. What's it? 29. Ooh. Hell yeah. Virgo. Oh yeah, it's kind of eats. No, Leo. Mhm. Mhm. Oh yeah. Most definitely. Oh yeah, this really eats you. I like this reading. Okay, so we're gonna hop right into Jupiter's retrograde. So Jupiter's conjunct. It's conjunct. Is it 5, 6, 7? Yeah, it is conjunct. Exactly, conjunct to 7 degrees. Yeah, that's why we need to have that conversation with the others. That's why we need to talk about the chart from that other perspective, so we can be aware of this. This chart is strictly well now. Jupiter retrograde is very mutable. Here saying we need to take in the fixed understanding and use them to our benefit to grow from them. You feel me? Use what we see, what's useful, see what's not useful, to grow off of it. Okay. Once we check what our foundations needs, what our foundations is, we can be able to know what we need to do next, right? In case that shit isn't raggedy as motherfucking fuck. You feel me? So you know what to do. You know how to move. I would get up on really good. I would get up on poems and poetry, speaking poetically, speaking from the heart, speaking from the soul. Really, I would think about doing. Hmm. I like this here, Jupiter conjunct Moon, but we need to be very mindful about that. We need to watch our eating habits and our eating habits and just our habits in general around each full moon and each new moon. Okay. 22 degrees. Yeah, we need to be very mindful. It's emotional control here, emotional constraint right here. It's hella temperamental, hella growing the emotional need. It's hella growing emotional regulation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's the assisting with the nerves. It's I feel like adaptogens, people are really gonna be start talking about adaptogens really more to assist with emotional regulation and to assist with like repairing the brain. I really like that. I really like that here. The only thing here is that it's like character development straight through karmically it's karmically learning about ooh previous engagements of our emotions. Yeah, that really eats. Halves. Halves nine. Okay. Okay. While we're realizing that what we have genetically got from our ancestry, I like that talking about habits, our abilities to move, our philosophical understandings, our religious standpoints. I like this a whole lot. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We're really gonna understand our ancestors' travel, our ancestry travel, especially like their movements. Um, Surviving. Ooh, especially on our maternal bloodline and our paternal bloodline. We're gonna be able to really see about. Wait, yeah. Mm-hmm. We're gonna learn a lot about our psychological understanding and background of our mothers and our maternal ancestry. especially about what it means to survive mentally, the things that they had to overcome, the things that they had to just, it's just mentalities they had to just like have in their mind with for the ability to survive. And that's really deep, because that is a part of nurturing that we were just saying how we needed to understand, how we needed to have. And through this, we are learning firsthand from them. I love that. This fucking eats. This good ass message. Oh my goodness. But also our long-term goals. Let's go back to that. We were talking about how we need to make sure that our long-term goals are in alignment with our short-term goals. That is 100% true. We need to think about what we put into them, the energy we put into them. What does that mean to put into our goals? And sometimes if we haven't seen that perspective, we haven't seen that behavior, we haven't seen that pattern before, and what modalities do we need to like put into our lives to step into this role of leadership, okay? Here is really telling us that we are overcoming a lot of family, maternal and paternal generational traumas, wounds, especially about how we saw ourselves, how we related to ourselves, their own traditions. And with this, it's allowing us to 25, damn. It's really teaching us really to temper our anger. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really teaching us to temper that anger. 100%. I like this North Node in Aries. It's really initiating the ability to stand up, initiating what it means to be a leader, what it means to stand, not to just stand up, but to have an approach to life and to stand in that. This is very strong. This is very strong. We are very strong. We are literally being able to stand up on their backs and to say, this is who I am, you feel me? But we have to understand that we did not get here by ourselves. Like, we did not do this by ourselves. We did not do this by ourselves, okay, Jupiter? So here we need to be very mindful of our emotions, our engagements, what it means to relate, what it means to connect to something long term, okay? I like this. This is a very psychoanalyzing, needing to put the work in, needing to understand the path, the map, to understand where you're going, to be in flow. Like this long, deep ass message. But let's get into this. All right, you all. I'm not gonna lie to you all. I just dropped a cigar, so this would be a really good time to cleanse us with cigars. And I wanted to say tobacco products, but if you can get tobacco leaves or what is it called, like a rum, cleanse with rum, spiritual bath with some rum in it. I really want to use this deck. All right, you all. We're going to use this deck first, and then we're going to clarify with the playing cards. Okay, I thought it was a trine. I was waiting to say trine, y'all. It's not a trine. I like it. Yeah, we have so much information that's just coming in from our head. And we have a lot of, we just holding information right in our head and right on our necks and right on our shoulders and right on our backs. We're just holding it, huh? Do we not know how to release energy and release tension within our body? Because we're holding it right in our shoulders, right in our neck, right in our arms, right in our nerves, right in our arms. And we need to really think about stretching, really thinking about moving it out. And it needs to be a daily thing. After work, we need to really have a cleansing facet to like separate work us from home us. Release us from them shackles. You feel me? So release ourselves from them shackles as soon as we, we need to really have a balance within our lives. We need to have emotional balance. We need to understand what we need emotionally within our lives on every facet. If shit not giving us, fulfillment emotionally, maybe we need to start thinking about, what's the next step? What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Here it really tells us that we're going to be learning a lot of lessons emotionally due to feelings. Okay? I like this because it really allows us, this is the grounded facet. We need to have a grounded facet within our emotions, within our movements, within our behaviors, within our reactions. Our intuition here is showing us a lot. But it's also, we need to learn how to train and to work with our intuition. In here, intuition tends to be really good, but also writing down your dreams, paying attention when people are saying things, and it's really like listening, active listening, activate. And listening is a skill set that people do not have. And I'm like, baby, we need to work on that listening skill, like for real. We have a whole lot of intuitive like thoughts that's coming down to a straight brain, straight third eye. Third eye is tapped. And right here, it's all about working with it. It's a whole lot of fear about growing up and being an adult here. It could be, it's both maternal and paternal. And we used to be asking them questions like, what did it feel like to you to be an adult, to be a parent? You feel me? What was going through your mind as you came to the realization of starting to work? You feel me? Or stepping into your purpose, your path. Okay, so these little conversations, as minuscule as they we feel like they are, they're very influential to our growth and our process about how we see ourselves continuously, leadership continuously, but it also changed the motives and the mindsets and the perspectives of what it means to be an individual. We've been asking ourselves for I've been doing readings for what now? For 3 years, 2 years, 3 years on YouTube. So yeah, we've always asked ourselves, what does it mean to be an individual? Now we are learning what it means to be an individual. Individuals have an individual path. We all have our own individual path, but they all seem to be very interconnected and similar to other people's, okay? And here, we should not have any shame or a facet of jealousy within how someone has or what someone has. Everyone has their own, and you have your own, and now it's the time to discover what you have, you feel me? To discover it. You probably got some wonderful, amazing genetic realizations that are waiting for you to tap into it. So how are you going to tap into it? When are you going to tap into it? When are you going to listen? Here it's giving straight bibliomancy, straight audiomancy. That's a skill set you want to work on. Bibliomancy, get your book, you feel me? The book will call out to you, okay? It could be any book, you feel me? And it asks what is something you want me to know? And boom, you start getting the feelings and it say stop here, you feel me? Or anything. Audiomancy, what you hear, the music, shuffle songs, you feel me? Listen to words, I don't know. Listen to what people are saying for real. Audiomancy really goes with music. What songs is going on in the background, okay? Being able to see omens within the environment is giving all elementals, all trees, what's in the grass, how certain things are leaning, birds, you feel me? All of those. It's also giving something's happening in the Grand Canyon, and just canyons and forestry in general. Yeah, it's a really good sense of what is real and what is fake. We need to have a really good sense of groundedness in our thoughts and our habits and our desires. We need to be very mindful of our decisions and how our decisions can impact us and come back to us. How they come back to us. It's giving group tests. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is funny as shit. Group desires, group tests. Group values. We get to learn about group values. Shared values. But it's also giving like unique thoughts, unique downloads. It's like genius ideas is coming to you, and it's like something that your ancestry has also had. You feel me? So this is a whole lot of ancestors conversation. All right, what is a Jupiter retrograde? Okay, partnership and alliances. Talk about that 3. Okay, 3/19. Okay, wow. This is that father. This is that growing up and stepping into oneself. I like this. I like this. This 19 is hella giving Jupiter vibes. Okay, so I like this a lot. This is a black card and it says light. Yeah, this is one spiritual environment. This is one spiritual lesson. It's one lesson after the other, okay? Do we need another card? No, we don't need the card. This right here, this Jupiter retrograde is something that is really planned, added into our life plan, our life purpose, our soul journey, our soul plan, okay? This is to allow you to get closer to yourself, to get closer to your creator, to get closer to your understanding of prayer, of higher learning, of connection to your higher self, 100%. 100%. But this also allows you to reconnect and better connect to your own habits, to your own ancestry. This is a really good time to do cemetery work, okay? That means clean up the cemetery, leave plants there, okay? Think about times of good times with them. This is about also a good time to think about setting your altar up. What does it mean to have an altar of connection, okay? I like this. This is a very spiritual message. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. With this 6, though, I need us to be very mindful of our own emotions and our own engagements and seeing really what's real and really what's fake. That's going to be the savior, seeing the realizations of situations. Is what is real and what is fake. You feel me? Have that understanding. Also understand that you need to have a sense of flow within the real and fake. Really what I mean is saying having a control of your mental and your physical, yes. Having control of both sides of your brains, your analytical portion, your creative portion, yes. But you need to have a work and play. It needs to be a work and play method. You can't be all work, and no play. It needs to be a method together, all right, you all? All right, so the top message goes 3/19/6. So 3, then it talks about that lesson of the understanding of the growth, which is the 3 again, you feel me? Which is, I love to talk about astrology. 3, I always like to tell people, is the first independence, because your first independence has to start at 3, because 4 you would be outside your mom's womb. But we're too deep into this. This talks about your primordial, predestined relationship to your mother. That talks about that very early point in childhood, the point of like right before you come out, okay? So this is a point where our parents are like realizing that they are an entity of themselves, yes, 100%, but also that they are caretaking, that they are nurturing, that they are transitioning facet of having a baby in womb and having a baby out of womb, which means growth, which means fertility, which means growth, which means development, right? So now after this sense, you're gonna constantly grow and develop, but kind of in a faster sense, right? But 3s nonetheless is our first independence, our first growth and awareness to ourselves. Okay, so here you walking to school, yay! Okay, you're walking to school. We're not walking to school no more. We driving. You feel me? We doing all these big purchases, these big girl and big boy things, right? So since we have these big understandings, these big realizations, these big things, right? We have to start realizing how useful we are, how useful our lessons are, how useful everything around us was to build who we are, to build what we are, okay? Because then it allows us to go through the test to make sure that everything is really what it's saying is. Everything really is for the benefit of the self, because it ain't for the benefit of the self. It should be like, you know, recycled, rejuvenated, reused, repurposed for the benefit of the self, right? For the continuous growth of oneself, right? So one can continue growing and blossoming into another step, right? This is really character development just to make sure that the previous foundations are working. You feel me? It's giving the whiz when they was like, oh yeah, I just need some oil at the top. Baby, don't you need your legs to work, to move? So you need some at your ankle, at your knees, to make sure the joints, our body joints, every nook and cranny is all is greased. Make sure that we are understanding ourselves and growing the deepness of ourselves, okay? Make sure that we're thinking, progressing, or more so thinking progressively, but also we're thinking and moving in balance with ourselves, in harmony with ourselves. This is a triple Venus message. Here go Mercury, here go Venus, right here. This is a 10, so it's kind of giving Capricorn, okay? But I really like the fact that the light card, it literally says light, is a black card, which means through the depth of oneself, one understands that light needs darkness, that growth needs to know nurturing on every level to be able to give oneself what oneself needs, right? To continue growing and blossoming. I like this because balance internally, balance externally allows us to be in flow with ourselves and the messages and the voices and the natural phenomenon and the flows of the universe, the flows of the creator. That eats. All right, y'all, we're gonna do a quick clarifying message. Anything else you want us to know? I guess we're gone. 8 of diamonds, 2 of spades, 7 of diamonds, 9 of diamonds. Yeah, this you need for balance as conversation. So to go forward, you got to go back. And the back is the realizations of yourself. Need to really use intuition when you're talking to other people, okay? Other people might be bringing you some mess. You need to hella peep it. Hella peep your vibes. Peep everything, okay? Reflect on everything. The really true gift here is reflection, okay? Also knowing that whatever we do, however we behave, there is a universal law about that, and this is teaching us universal law, how to step, how to move 100%. But remember, when we take a step back, don't be like, oh my goodness, I failed. No, we're going to use it to our benefit. Understand it to be able to move correctly, to move better and flow with our intuition, to move better and flow with our mental understanding, okay? Okay, be very mindful of what people are saying to you. Also, be very mindful and weigh things out. Are things making sense to you? Do the behaviors and the words add up? Because here it's saying that people like is doing good things. You feel me? 8, and then it goes a little back, 7, and it goes up a 9. So you need to be very mindful because things is not adding up. Like the behaviors and the mentalities and the steps is not adding up, and we need to be very mindful about that 100%. Back of the deck. Back of the deck is the Queen of Spades. I love that analytical method because the Queen of Spades plus 2, which allows her to have the 2 of diamonds as her tools to use, okay? So whereas her tools, we can use them as 6 as wands, okay? But also tools allows her to be able to sense situations, to be able to know situations. So that's using her intuition wisely. But also this is like the oldest in the deck to be able to understand and to know yourself 100%. You feel me? That eats. Did I say the back of the deck? Okay, the front of the deck is 10 of hearts. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. We come from some real strong individuals, some real strong maternal and paternal figures. Very analytical, progressive, yes. Could be fixed in their nature, could be a little hard, could be a little hard-headed, could be a little feeling left out in love. But this conversation, this growth allows us to soften our heart. But the only thing here is to not allow our heart to get hardened by the situation. This is the only heart here. The lesson here overall is to not allow our heart to be hardened through these situations. I love you all.